Okay, yeah, so the subject I'm going to talk about now is the fact that teenagers nowadays, and myself, I've been guilty of it, we're all too busy growing up. We get to an age around 14, sometimes earlier, depending on our social influences, and we lose interest of our hobbies. It might be football, rugby, boxing. It might even be academic studies. And we get to an age where we're trying to connect with all the social norms. And sometimes your social norms, these can be older people. And sometimes we're too busy trying to be accepted and fit in that we forget about who we really are. And sometimes, because we're trying to fit in and be accepted, we're too busy growing up. So we forget about what's happening in the now and what is important really for us. Because when you realise that you're too busy growing up and you've made all these mistakes, sometimes it goes in your favour, but sometimes you wish you could just go back so you could maybe change a few choices here and there. So when you're at these decisions, these critical decision times in your life, that you wish you made a better choice. But as long as you're trying to do the right thing and trying to find a way to be a better person and grow and make a better life for yourself and those who you care about and those you want around you, there's no right or wrong answer as long as your intentions are good, and as long as you try and figure it out for the best interest of people you care about and those around you. At the same time, when we're too busy growing up, we get distracted. We may be on course to becoming a footballer, a rugby player, a boxer, great academic studies, but when we adolescents, our hormones change, and there's a whole lot of science to it, but I'm just going to keep it really simple from my perspective. But you become a young man, and there's this pressure on you that you have to be the alpha male, or you have to be someone. And sometimes we try too hard, so we're too busy growing up. And parties come along, and we get a taste for drinking beer on a Friday night and going to the party and creating memories and a laugh. And when you're young, things appeal to you in different ways. And when you grow up, you think, oh, I was silly so-and-so. But at the same time, it's relevant to the crowd you're in with and how you wanted to be accepted. Because we all want to have a laugh. And to be honest with you, when parties come along and girls come along, it's a big change. And you just want to be that adult. You want to, everybody wants a girlfriend at 14. They think it's, the be-all and end-all. But really, it's about discovering where you want to go. Because it's the start of a journey for you. And when you leave school and you figure your first few hard lessons out, that, life's full of ups and downs and things that will test you, but you have to resolve the situations. And we do this in different ways. But we're too busy growing up, trying to be accepted, trying to prove ourselves. And we go to parties, we go to university, and when we look back, sometimes we don't realise that we're too busy growing up. We've got to be who we really wanted to be. But all your experiences count. And what I mean by is you're too busy growing up, you forgot who you wanted to be. Is the fact is that when you're young, you're growing and your mind's changing, your body's changing, and you're growing up and you've got all these pressures around you, like, drugs are going to come along. Hopefully you're not going to go down that avenue, and hopefully if you tried something, you're going to figure it out that it might not be the best situation for you to be in. And, you know, that can lead down to various different pathways, and it can lead to a lot of bad situations. And parties are going to come along, girls, and things don't always work out, but sometimes they do. So don't think that because I'm telling you this is going to be the worst case scenario. Sometimes you just have to go through with things and figure it out for yourself. And beer's going to come along. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're too busy growing up and you lose track of what really makes you happy, because I guarantee you, if you keep drinking beer on a Friday night and go to these parties, you're not going to be playing for Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United, Rotherham, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, or Manchester United. You're not going to have a chance. But if you keep focused, then you'll find a way around it. But don't get distracted by the parties, the girls, the alpha male syndrome, and the too busy growing up thing, because you grow up in your own time, you'll figure it out for yourself. And good times are going to come and go. But if you stay focused, if you want to be a footballer, figure it out. If you want to be a rugby player, figure it out. If you want to be a great scientist, figure it out. And if you want to be a boxer, then figure it out. Because at the end of the day, don't be too busy growing up, because you find a way to be who you are. And when you're too busy growing up, you're trying to fit in with something that you might not want to be in years to come. So figure out who you are, take your time. Education's important. Physical health, fitness, do it. You know, rugby, boxing, football, cricket, do it. If that will make you tick, that will make you happy, do it. But don't be too busy growing up that you forget to be who you really wanted to be. Because when you look back in 10 years' time and you say, I was a silly so-and-so, then you might regret a few choices. So don't be too busy growing up. Take your time, learn, make the most of all the right opportunities that come your way. And if you do go to these parties and you do sample drugs or cannabis or whatever it is, then don't think it's the end of the world, because, you know, people have been there and done that. You won't be the first and you won't be the last. But don't be too busy growing up that you're fitting in with the wrong crowd and you're making too many bad mistakes. Just learn to be who you are and figure it out in your own time. Education is important. Physical health is important. Following the right people is important. And doing the right thing is important. And you can do whatever you want as long as you be who you want to be with the right intentions, and learn from your mistakes and learn to be a better person and grow in the right way. Okay,